Hi everyone, my name is Julia Tang and I'm a physical therapist. I'm here today with a lower body strength and plyo workout that I designed that's kind of geared towards some of my patients who are recovering from ACL reconstruction. So this is going to be a great lower body plyo or strength workout for anyone. However, I did gear it towards people who are kind of in that mid stage of recovery from ACL reconstruction. So people who are probably either just starting to run or working towards running, and they're really in that strength building phase. They're really trying to build up the strength of the legs, especially single leg strength, and maybe even getting into some of that multi-directional jumping. So this workout is going to involve weighted strength exercises, so you'll need some weights, and we're going to have regular jumping and some multi-directional jumping variations. So if you're not quite at the place where you can be doing multi-directional jumping, totally fine. You can just stay with the original jumping variations and not add that multi-directional component. And as always, you should always follow the guidance of your physical therapist if you are recovering from any type of surgery or injury, because their program will be tailored to you. But this is just kind of an example of a workout that I would give one of my patients who's recovering from ACL reconstruction. So get your weights, get a little bit of space around you, and let's start the workout. So as always, I like to start with a warm-up. So we're just going to start with a little jog in place here. This is going to be a free form warm-up. The goal of the warm-up is to increase your heart rate, get a little sweat going, and prepare your muscles for the exercises you're about to do. So we're going to be focusing on our legs. So this warm-up is going to be focused mostly on warming up the legs. So once you feel like you're a little bit warmed up here, we're going to go into a quad stretch and heel raise. So you're going to grab your ankle, pull your heel towards your butt, stand up nice and tall, get a dynamic stretch in the front of that thigh. If you're having a little issue with knee stiffness here, you can always just try and go for a butt kicker or just try and tap your heel behind you. But if you can, if you've got the range, really try and get that full quad stretch and a little heel raise just to wake up those calves. The next one is going to be a Frankenstein. So we're going to wake up the hamstrings, the back of the thigh. So back straight, nice and tall. Reach for your opposite foot as you kick it up. And then use your hamstrings to pull your foot down. And you can probably hear I'm scuffing on the ground. So you kick up and then pull your foot down on the ground just to wake up that hamstring. Okay, so our next warm-up exercise is going to be a reverse lunge and twist. So you're going to step back, twist both directions. I like to switch it up, so I usually turn towards the direction of my front leg first. And really important, as you twist, you don't want this knee to be going everywhere. You want that to be nice and stable as you're going through the twist here. So you're trying to lower your back knee towards the ground in that reverse lunge and twist here. A couple more. And then we're going to switch to a deep squat to a hip hinge. So you're going to get in as deep of a squat as you can, and then hip hinge, deep squat, hip hinge. So warming up your legs through that full range here. And if your hip hinge just looks like this, totally fine. We'll keep working on it. But as you get stronger and a little bit more mobile and flexible, you should be able to almost straighten your legs in that hip hinge. Okay, the next one is going to be a hip hug to a dynamic lateral lunge. So you hug your knee to your chest, step out in a lateral lunge, and then we're going to repeat on the other side. So just get a nice hip stretch here. Lunge out to the side. We're kind of working on that lateral strength here. Warming up for those lateral lunges later. And I'm breathing a little heavier, so keep up the breathing, but that's the sign of a good warm-up. We'll do one more on each side. Then we're going to go to our last warm-up exercise, which is going to be high knees here. So try to get the knees to hip height or higher. Back straight, up nice and tall. always try to get our heart rate up before we get into the main portion of the workout. Keep it up just a little longer. All right, excellent. Go ahead and grab a drink of water if you need it. At any point in this workout, if you need a break, you can always hit pause, get some water, take a quick break, and come right back to it. So, I'm just gonna explain the format of our workout here. Whew, I'm breathing hard, that's good. Hopefully you are too. So we're gonna be doing rounds of strength exercise, alternating with rounds of jumping. So our strength exercises, we're gonna go 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 2 rounds for each leg. So some double leg, some split stance, some single leg exercises. So it'll kind of vary based on the exercise. And then we're gonna alternate those strength portions with jumping exercises. And those are gonna be 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off for 3 rounds of 2 exercises each, okay? So if you haven't already, grab some water, get some space, get your weights, and we'll get started on to those first couple strength exercises here, which are gonna be squats and RDLs. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my weights for the squats. You can rack them up on your shoulders or hold them in front of you and start it up. So we're starting off with squats. Feet should be about hip width apart or about shoulder width apart. Feet either pointing straight forward or slightly out, toes pointed slightly out. Kind of depends on your hip anatomy and what's comfortable for you. Try and keep your chest up with the squat. Inhale down, exhale up. Keep it going here. If you have just one weight, you can also either wear it on your back if you've got books in a backpack, or you can hold the weight right in front of your chest, or you can just put the dumbbells on your shoulders like this. All right, take a quick break. We're gonna transition to those RDLs. So the weights are gonna come right in front of you. Keep your back in neutral, up nice and tall, and go. Hinge at the hips. Again, inhale down, exhale up. So hinge at the hips, keeping your knees soft but straight, so not a huge bend in the knees. And make sure your back is staying in that neutral position. You don't want to be curving over here because we're trying to work the hamstrings and glutes. The back muscles have to work isometrically, so that's without moving, to maintain this posture. So you should feel a stretch in the back of your thighs, in the hamstrings, as you come down, and those hamstrings and glutes will be working as you come back up. Go ahead and take a break. We're gonna come back to the squats, so you can either hold the weights right in front of you, or if you've got dumbbells like this, you can just place them on your shoulders. Going for that second round of squats. Ready, go. Inhale down, exhale up. And here you can see my knees are driving a little bit in front of my toes. You want to keep your trunk angle and shin angle about the same as you lower down in the squat. And try and get hips just about to knee height or a little below for that full range squat here. Trying to load those quads, glutes, the adductors at the bottom of that range. Keep up the breathing. All right, quick break, and then we're going back to the RDLs. All right, so we're gonna switch to those RDLs now, round 2 of the RDLs. Having a little bit of a recording issue here, so sorry for the awkward transitions, but pull the shoulders back and start it up. Round 2 of the RDLs. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. So you should look like a triangle at the bottom of the motion here with your arms, trunk, and legs kind of in this triangle position. So your back is working to maintain that neutral spine, but feel a little stretch in the hamstrings as you go down, and then those hamstrings and glutes are really working to pull you back up to vertical. Keep going. And there we have it. So now we're done with our first set of strength exercises. So now we're going into our first round of plyometrics, and we're going to be doing squat jumps and lateral skaters. Okay, so we're starting off with squat jumps here. The mechanics are pretty much the same as the squat. Go. We're just going to do it a little bit faster. So that triple extension at the top, hips, knees, ankles, trying to explode up off the ground, and nice soft landings. Whew. Quick break, just 15 seconds. It's not so bad. You got 3 rounds, 15 on, 15 off. Now we're going to our lateral skaters. So we're really going to go for lateral excursion here. So side to side. Try to keep good trunk control. Don't let yourself like lean from side to side. Really powering off here. Break. Whew. Sucking that oxygen. Going back for round 2 of squat jumps. Show you from the side. And go. So again, trying to get shin and trunk angle about the same. Break. Going back to those lateral skaters. So really trying to get good, quick push off from side to side here. Keep your feet moving during the breaks. And go. You can use your arms to help you get better side to side motion here. Keep it up. Good. All right. One more round of each. Going back to those squat jumps. Really try and jump your head through the ceiling or up into the sky here. Working on that leg power. Start it up. Keep going. It's only 15 seconds. You can do it. Woo! All right, we got one more set of those lateral skaters. Show you from the side this time. So that nice athletic position. Just going side to side here. And go. So, really use the power of your hip muscles to go side to side. Keep breathing. You're almost there. You can do it. You can do it. And break. Whew, all right. This is a good time for our first water break. So go ahead and get a quick drink and then come on back. We're going to go into our next set of strength exercises. We're going to be doing split squats with both legs in front and then lateral lunges. Okay, so we've got 6 rounds here of 45 on, 15 off. We're doing split squats with one leg in front, split squats with the other leg in front, and then lateral lunges alternating twice. I'm using a slightly lighter weight, but if you want a real challenge, you can use the same weight you used for your squats and RDLs. So pick up those weights, starting with one leg in front for those split squats, and go. So you want to pretend like your legs are on train tracks. You should see a little bit of a gap between your knees if you were looking in the mirror. So you don't want to see your knees caving in, and you don't want your foot right in line because that makes it really hard to balance. So we're going for a 90-degree angle bend on both your front knee and your back knee at the bottom of this split squat here. Inhale down, exhale up. So nice steady breathing. Don't lock out this front knee completely at the top. You always want to keep a little bit of a bend to keep that quad engaged and to avoid any hyperextension. All right, so now we're going to the other leg. Get a quick break, shake it out. So put that other leg in front. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. And start it up. Straight down, straight up. Your trunk should be moving vertically as if it's on an elevator. And again, that front knee should never lock out completely. You always want to keep it just a little bit bent, even at the top of the motion. Inhale down, exhale up. Nice steady movement here. Keep it going, feel the burn. Embrace the burn in your quads, especially that back quad. If you have to adjust and do slightly less depth, totally fine, but the goal is to get to 90-90. Whew, all right. Now we're going for the lateral lunges. So you can either rack your weights right up top, take a nice wide stance here, or you can let them frame your knee on either side as you go down. Start it up. So lunge down to one side and then the other. So at the bottom of the lateral lunge, you want your hip, knee, and ankle pretty much all in a vertical line. You don't want your knee like outside your foot, and you definitely don't want it inside your foot. So try and get everything stacked up. Feet pointing pretty close to straight forward. You can also frame your knee with the weights as you go side to side. Up to you, whichever one's easier. Ooh, take a break. Shake out those legs. We're going back to those split squats. I started with my left foot in front. So the second round, I'll also start with the left in front. And start it up. Inhale down, exhale up. Nice steady breathing here. Keep it going. Feel the burn. Keep your trunk upright. Feel the quads, the glutes kicking in. This is how we build strength. You can do it. Almost there, just a few more reps on this side. Then we get to go to the next side. Excellent. All right, now we're going to that other leg. For me, that's gonna be my right leg in front. Shake up the legs. You can always put the weights down briefly if you need it. Set it up and go. So you can see my feet look like they're on train tracks. A little bit of space between my knees as I drop down into the split squat. And this front knee is staying nice and stable. If you feel like it's caving in, pretend like the walls are closing in on your knee. You gotta push out against those walls. Keep going. This is your last set of split squats for this workout. Embrace the burn. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So we want these to be challenging. Quick break. Whew, feel the burn. And we're going to those lateral lunges. So if you just have one way, you can hold it just right in front of your chest here, and like this. And rack it on your shoulders. Start it up. Side lunge to one side, and the other side. Make sure you come all the way upright between each repetition. Keep it going. I'm sweating. I'm breathing hard. Hopefully you are too. You can do it. Keep it up. Feel those muscles getting stronger. We're almost there. All right. Very nice. So go ahead and put those weights down. And we're going to go into our next set of jumping. We have 90-degree turn squat jumps. So you turn 90 degrees every time. Again, if you're not up to the multi-directional stuff yet, just do regular squat jumps. And then 90-degree pivot lateral turns, or lateral skaters. So again, you can just do regular lateral skaters if you're not quite up to doing the multi-directional stuff just yet. All right, here we go. Starting with those 90-degree turn squat jumps. And start it up. So turn 90 degrees in both directions here. And as you land, make sure your knee's not caving in. So pretend like the walls are closing in on your knees. And you gotta break those walls apart. All right, break, and then we're going to the lateral skaters with a turn. So pick a foot to pivot on, and then we'll switch in the next round. And start it up. So 90-degree turn. Keep it going. So I'm pivoting off my right foot here. And break. So next one I'll pivot off my left foot. And last round we'll pivot off both. All right, back to the 90-degree turn squat jumps. Prevent the walls from closing in. And go. So going for height and a little rotational power here. Whew. Break. Back to those 90-degree turn skaters. So I'm going to pivot off my left foot this time. And go. So this is where you need a little space. Make sure you don't jump on any of your weights on the ground here. Whew. Break. On the last one, we'll do pivot one way and then also pivot the other way. But for now, we're going back to those 90-degree turn squat jumps. Start it up. You can also go back to regular squat jumps, but try and stick it out. Here we go. Last round of squat jumps. Woo! That one's done for. So now we're going for those 90-degree turn lateral skaters. We'll pivot off both feet this time. And go. Pivot off the right, and then off the left. Really gotta get that core controlled, developing multi-directional power. Whew, all right. Excellent work, you did it. That's the last of the jumping for today. So take a quick water break, then we'll come back with our last two strength exercises, which are gonna be single leg strength. So take a break and then come right back. Okay, so for our last two strength exercises, they are single leg exercises. We're gonna do a single leg runner squat on one side, single leg runner squat on the other side, then a single leg RDL on one side, single leg RDL on the other side, and then that's gonna be it. So you just have 8 rounds of 45 seconds of strength work between you and the cool down. So for those runner squats, I'll grab the same weights here that I was using for those split squats. Start it up, I'll stand on one leg, you're gonna come down. Ooh, a little wobbly today. So everyone wobbles, totally fine. You'll get better with practice. But again, especially if you find your knee caving in, just pretend like the walls are caving in on the outside of your knee. Push out into that imaginary wall. Try and keep a nice straight line from your hip to your foot, which is not a vertical line, it's slightly a diagonal line, but it should be a straight line without any breaks in the line from your knee caving in. Keep it up here. Try and keep your back shin parallel to the ground as you lower in this runner squat. Whew, take a quick break. Go into the other leg. So really loading the quads and the glutes here. Right, and start it up. Inhale down, exhale up. So really trying to get that back shin about 1 inch from the ground, almost touching but not quite. And that's just the goal. You want this standing knee to go forward over your toe. 1, to help keep your balance. 2, to help load the quads. Inhale down. Exhale up. And you don't have to do this with weights. If it's really hard, you can ditch the weights. Use a chair for balance if you need it. Just do what you can. Okay, so now we're going to the single leg RDLs. So lifted leg should be in line with your body. Neutral spine position here. Starting with my left leg, and go. So similar to the double leg RDLs, the standing leg is straight but soft. Knee is not locked out here. Keep hips level and really reach that back foot back like you're kicking down a door behind you in slow motion. Keep your lifted toe pointed down towards the ground. If it starts rolling out, you're probably opening at the hips. So keep that toe pointed down to keep those hips level. Oop. And if you have to tap down here and there, no worries. Happening to me, it can happen to you. There's no shame in tapping down to regather your balance, but you'll notice you get better as you go along. All right, we're gonna do the other leg now. Start it up. So try and keep that lifted leg lifted throughout this whole interval here, but if you have to tap down for balance like this between each rep, no shame in it. You got some ways to improve. That's always good. Keep it up. Feel a little stretch in that hamstring on the way down, and really extend that back leg. Drive through your heel as if you're trying to kick down a door behind you with a donkey kick. Keep it going. Excellent. We're going back to those runner squats. So again, really just trying to get back leg about 1 inch from the ground, and start it up. Remember, you can always drop the weights if you need to. Try and keep your chest up. Knees should be going forward over your toes on the standing leg here to load up the quads. You can always put down the weights. Use a chair for balance if you need to. Remember to come fully vertical between each rep. Full knee and hip extension between each rep here. And just keep it going. You're almost there. All right. We got one more set of single leg runner squats on the other leg here. And then that'll be it for the runner squats. All right, set it up and start it up. So keep your chest up. If you're looking in a mirror, you should still be able to see at least a portion of any logo you have on your t-shirt. Make sure that back leg, the shin is staying parallel to the ground. Nice steady breathing. Keep it up. If you need to top down, you can. But really feel all the work going into that one leg. I love single leg strengthening. It really shows any imbalances you have. All right. We're gonna wipe the sweat out of my eyes. That's good. We're gonna have a good sweat here. So we're going back to those single leg RDLs. Start it up. So really root yourself down into the ground through your standing foot. You only have 2 more sets of single leg RDLs here between you and our nice yoga cool down. So keep it going. Hips level. Only go as low as you can while keeping your back in a neutral position. If you start bending your back, then you've gone too far. Gotta work on that control. Nice steady breathing. Feel those foot muscles start to fire. Break. Just 1 more set between you and the cool down. So we got single leg RDLs on the other side now. Roll those shoulders back and start it up. Just 45 seconds. That's not too bad. Just 45 seconds. So really stay nice and stable on that single leg. Feel that foot rooting into the ground. Kick down the door behind you. Really extend through that back leg. You're almost there, you got it. You can do it. Almost there, keep going. Just a couple more. Excellent, and that is it. So go ahead and put your waist down. If you need to, you can pause, get a little bit of water, but we're gonna go straight into the cool down here. This is gonna be a yoga style cool down, so take a few deep breaths, wipe the sweat out of your eyes, and I'm gonna stand at the edge of the area you have, the space you have, and then inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And you can wrap your arms around your elbows or grab the back of your legs or leave your hands on the floor. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Just release the neck here. Inhale to plank. Walk your hands out. And then lower down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Try and straighten the arms. If you can't get your arms all the way straight, it's totally fine. You can just do a baby cobra. A couple breaths here. And then exhale back down to the ground. Deep breath, and then exhale to downward dog. You can bicycle the legs here, get a little calf stretch on one side, get a little calf stretch on the other side. Push the ground away with your arms, really extend through your entire spine. And then inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through between your hands and lay the side of your shin down for a pigeon stretch. So the goal is to get your hips level to the ground, and then your front shin should be perpendicular to your body. But if you can't quite get that, you can bring the foot in. But if you're feeling a good stretch here, keep that shin perpendicular to the rest of your body. And then lower down for a glute stretch here. Feel a nice stretch in that hip. All right, and then walk yourself up. Pull your ankle in. You're going to sit on your foot and then reach back for your other ankle. This is a pigeon quad stretch. So you should feel a little bit in the front of the thigh and the front of the hip. Get those hip flexors and quads. Still trying to keep those hips level to the ground. To feel it more in the quads, you can lean forward onto your forearm. To feel it more in the hip flexors, sit your trunk more upright. One more breath here. And then release your back leg. Push back up into down dog. Get another little quick calf stretch here. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it through between your hands and then lay the side of your leg down for a pigeon glute stretch on the other side. So you can walk your foot farther in if you can't maintain this position, or try and keep that shin perpendicular to your trunk here. And then lower down for that pigeon glute stretch. Feel a nice deep stretch in your hip. Couple deep breaths here. And then come back up, pull your ankle in, sit on your heel, and then grab that back leg with this pigeon quad stretch here. Feel a nice release through the front of that thigh. So, hope you're feeling a nice cool down here. Feel like those muscles were worked, and you can either lower down more for more of a quad stretch, or raise more upright for more of a hip flexor stretch. All right, and then release to all fours. And here, put your feet together for a seated butterfly stretch here. You can use your elbows to lower your knees closer to the ground, or just sit upright and get a nice stretch. And then we're going to end with my favorite stretch, the supine twist. So you're going to lay on your back. And no, sorry, we're not actually just going to stay on our back. You're going to bring one knee over, reach it across, and then look back towards your opposite hand. You can use this front hand to pull your knee towards the ground, or just lay it on the ground. And you might have heard my back crack. Usually feels good. Get a few crickle crackles here and there. Release through those core muscles. Get a nice spinal twist. And then roll back to center. And then repeat with the other leg. So bring one knee up and across. And there goes my back cracking on the other side. And so you can keep this hand on your knee to pull it down towards the ground, or just lay it on the ground. Just open up that side of your body here. Get a nice spinal twist and breathe. And then unwind out of that twist here. Roll to your side and push up to sitting. And that is it. So, I had fun with that workout. I'm sweating, I feel good, like I got a nice workout there. My muscles were challenged. So hopefully you felt the same way. Hopefully that was fun for you. And thanks for joining me.